For you Americans in the audience, I've been drinking root beer. I love root beer. Hello everyone, hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about John Coltrane's Blue Train, which is really hard to say when you're drunk. I'm not drunk, but also there's a fan going because it's very toasty in here. I have really been loving this album. Now, this video is probably going to attract the jazz crowd from YouTube, which is fine. Please subscribe for more, stick around. But this review is in the vein of someone who I know broadly what I'm talking about, but someone who is getting into jazz music, and you shouldn't expect some super in detailed review unless you go and watch one of my classic rock. You know, I listen to mostly rock music and now soundtracks and stuff like that, but last night it was about 9:30 in the evening or at night, pitch black in here. I shut all the curtains, all the blinds, and I played this. And so there are albums that sound amazing in the dark, mainly Pink Floyd albums, like The Wall, sorry. I'm blanking at Dark Side of the Moon. It's called Dark Side of the Moon. My mind went there, and you know, they just sound phenomenal, so much so that I don't feel the need to check my phone. And that's really a really millennial thing to say, I know, but it's true. I'm always on my phone. If I put a record on and lie in bed, I'm answering text messages or, you know, doing whatever I do on my phone. But I played this last night and I just didn't need to be on my phone. I was just listening to the compositions and it was absolutely brilliant. And I enjoyed every second of it. And besides having to get up and change the side over, I couldn't really tell where one song ends and another begins, which is a good thing, at least in my experience, because you're not thinking about when something's going to end, you're just enjoying the ride. And when an album can do that for you, you know, that's something really special. Now, I must admit, as I said, I'm not a huge jazz person at the moment. I'm listening to a few things here or there. I've listened to his album, Love Supreme, or Love Supreme. It's one of those, that sounds fantastic. And I like, what's his name? He sung It's a Wonderful World. I swear, bloody hell. I had his name written down so I could talk about him, but it's gone. He's amazing too. So, you know, I'm slowly getting into this stuff. But anyway, let's talk about the looks. So, I love the look of this album with his saxophone, or his tenor saxophone, if you want to be specific. And I love how simple it was, but the blue tint on it fits the album. Like, obviously it'd still look good if there wasn't a blue tint on the photo, but because there is, it looks really cool. And I love the write-up. I haven't actually read all this, so maybe next time I listen to it I should give it a good read, but yeah, it's some really interesting stuff. Tenor saxophonist John Coltrane's September 15, 1957 studio session in Hackensack, New Jersey. I have a friend, one of my best friends lives in Hackensack, New Jersey. Produced all the material for the legendary album Blue Train. The album marked the first time that Train was given the opportunity to select his own sidemen for the date. He made good use of his newfound freedom, enlisting the support of trumpeter Lee Morgan, trombonist Curtis Fuller, and pianist Kenny Drew. Bassist Paul Chambers. It's weird, the bassist for Oasis is called Paul Chambers, I think. His name's, doesn't matter. And drummer Philly Joe Jones. When asked in a 1960 radio interview which was his favourite of all-time album he recorded up to that point, Coltrane was quickly to reply, Blue Train. Coltrane would only record with Lee Morgan on 2 occasions. I won't read all of it, but yeah, that's really cool. And the coolest thing again, gotta love it. Sleeve on the floor. Gotta love a coloured vinyl. Look at that beautiful red vinyl. Get it in the light. That is stunning. Yeah, let's talk about the music. Oh, as I said, like, I'm not going to talk about like the composition or like the notes played. Or I'm doing this channel for 2 years, and I think there were 3 people. I've been doing this channel for at least 2 years now, and I've had 3 people over that time ask me to talk about the actual music notes and musical theory and get into the more complicated stuff. And every time I've had to tell them I can't do that. I'm just a music enjoyer. I ain't got a clue. I can't play an instrument, and I'm going to go again. So the music on this album is fantastic. As I said in the beginning, I can't tell where one song begins and one song ends. And maybe that's because I haven't listened to it as much as I have, say, an Oasis album. But it's just, it flows really well from one end to the other. And something I didn't mention actually, and you're going to think I'm crazy, but I swear to you, jazz music helps my migraines. If I have a bad migraine, I can listen to some jazz music and it helps. And that's really weird. As much as obviously rock music is my favourite thing on earth, it doesn't really help a headache. I would usually listen to there's some like binaural relaxing music on YouTube. But I found that jazz music really helps, which is crazy. But the song Blue Train, the title track, do 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 do, bum bum. So what I love is how the saxophone takes over the lead vocals. There are no vocals on this, and maybe that helps as to why I can't tell when the song ends. But the way that he plays the saxophone, and it is the lead instrument, it sounds fantastic, and it's so catchy, especially on that opening train. Do 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 do. Opening song, not opening train. Moment's Notice is brilliant. Eastbound, I love. Locomotion. The instrument, I think it's called a double bass, but I'm probably wrong. Whatever plays the bass notes throughout all of it is brilliant. Hang on. It is a double bass, isn't it? Well, it says bass. Maybe it's just a bass. I thought it was a double bass. And the drumming by Philly Joe Jones is fantastic as well. So I love his saxophone. I've always loved a good saxophone solo in a song, like Bruce Springsteen's Born to Die, or Careless Whisper by, my brain's got, George Michael. But the way that the saxophone just takes the lead on this is fantastic. That's my favourite thing. The trumpet sounds great too. And the reason, to try and get the point across is that I never ever thought that I would listen to jazz music. And this album was like opening the door into this new genre of music, which I've really been enjoying. The rhythm section throughout the whole album is superb. And if you've never listened to jazz music, and I know it's not for everyone, but I would definitely recommend you give this a go. So in conclusion, I'm not going to, usually I'd give it a rating out of 10, but I'm not going to do that for this because it's the only jazz album I own on vinyl, the only one I've properly listened to all the way through. So I think it'd be unfair to give it a rating on the same scale as I would for any of the other albums I own. But it is absolutely superb and I really enjoy it. And I did first impressions for this at my, that was like 4 months ago, because I believe a long-time friend of the show, an art collector, suggested it in the comments. And then after listening to it, I bought it on vinyl because I enjoyed it so much. And I did an unboxing the next day. And I've listened to it every month since I bought it, which I know every month doesn't sound like a lot, but for a new genre of music, and for me, that's a huge deal. I'll admit, there's like 300 albums over there, and I don't listen to all of them. Some go months without being played. Some I've never played at all. But this is it's really good, and I would definitely recommend it. So if you enjoy jazz music, because you've probably found this video, please comment below and let me know what other jazz stuff I should listen to. That was the perfect time to get interrupted. If you listen to jazz music, let me know what I should check out. I do really enjoy John Coltrane. The reason why it's so hard to say is because Coltrane and train sound so similar, and my dyslexic brain is just all over the place. But yeah, I absolutely enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, everyone.